Sorry, it got me cut off because there's not much space on this little phone. So I'll do it part two, and I won't make a video for a while because I feel rough. So the part two was, it was to do with the jobs, basically, and priests were the highest people for being paedophiles than any other occupation. That's all I was saying. We'll end that off there now. So anyway, I want to get back to these churches. So it's in Tarleton Street, Liverpool city centre, and it's called the Universal Church Help Centre. Listen to me, I'm rotten. Help Centre, my arse. So I go, you go there and ask, can they help you? Because you're desperate, because somebody says, will they help you? It's Help Centre. Oh, yeah, we will. You just got to come in here. And on a Sunday, they even sent a Uber taxi to me. I waited at the end of the road because they didn't know the proper address here. And they came for me in a Uber taxi one Sunday a few weeks ago. And they paid for that to send me there because they don't have that many people there. You see, they want to get people in. And then they have all this sermon. And basically, they're threatening people that you have to lick God's arse and you're going to heaven then. Helping other people doesn't count. You shouldn't do that. What you should do is just put God above everybody else. So above your family, above anybody else, you should love him more than anyone. So say I had a baby, a child, say I've got a little boy or something about 6 years old. I shouldn't care about him. God's much more important. Sod the boy. He's more important. That's how they're behaving. And they were going round, this is the unbelievable thing, with a card reader. Like when you have a meal out, not like I do anymore, but you used to in Pizza Hut, and they used to come along with a little credit card machine because you couldn't pay in cash in there. And they come around with that at the end of it, instead of a little pot used to go around and people used to put 20p in or a quid or something, for the congregation. And that's what they were doing. And I said, well, I've got no money. I'm destitute. So, you won't get anything off my card. So, and people were all doing it and putting the cards in. Now, you're not going to put your card in for 20p, are you? So the goodness knows they're getting 20 quid or more off each person. It's terrible. What they're doing, goodness knows what they're doing with the money. Because the centre itself is very nice, I notice. They say they're helping people, but they're not at all. Because all they're doing is, they say they have a food bank. And that's stale. They gave me a bag of tins. I said, oh, this is out of date, and I handed it back to him. It's not very good at all, that place. And they're just liars, basically. They're saying that if you commit suicide, you go to hell. That God you should place above everybody, your family, your friends. Nobody else matters. It's God. You should worship him. You give your life to him. You don't have a life yourself. You give it to him. This man in the sky that they're talking about. And then they're saying Jesus as well. So I don't know whether they think it's the same person or whether I thought Jesus was meant to be the Son of God in these Bible stories. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I believed. He was like a magic guy that came down. It was super cool, who walked on water, who did all sorts of things, healed people, a miracle worker. We could do with something like that coming down now, couldn't we? But he was that, wasn't he, with a long beard looking hot and pretty cool. And then God was the older guy, like a Santa Claus in the sky. His father, who created the world. That's what I was led to believe as a child in the Bible groups, and we had to go and do all that. In school, Sunday school, I was forced to go, and my grandmother, and all that. But this is unbelievable. They're going around with card readers now. I thought, bloody hell. So they're getting all the money themselves. Of course they are. And then, like this other corrupt organisation. So Donna, this is how I met Donna. It was a woman on the street singing. And I don't know what her name is, Nicoya or something, black lady. And she said she'd help me and go to this church and everything. I went there and everything. Oh my God, it's really weird there. Because the church, now they've moved it to a Toxteth area. It's called Earth, Wind and Fire or something weird like that. Now, they hate gays to begin with, of course. And they're just mainly all black. But they're not gospel singers or anything cool. They chant, they go, ah, yeah, 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 oh, ah, yeah, 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 oh. And it's like that all the way through, where they're screaming, but it's really loud. And it's so loud. And then she's screaming about Jesus this, Jesus that. And it's quite scary. And this is it. And they're on about black magic and things. It's to do with that. And about, I don't know. It's really quite scary. And anyway, the woman there, this Nicoya, to be honest, she was the one with the church that's done the most to help me. She did put me in a hotel for a few nights in Southport in a B&B. She did come out to me. She did sort of care, but she only cared because God had, she said she was doing it for God again. So when she saw the vicar and he said, don't get involved, he she turned her back on me because God is looking after me now. She said he's moved her on to somebody else to look after me, which there is nobody. But she'd only doing it because of what God wants, Jesus and God. But if they say don't help somebody, she won't help somebody. So this is what they're going about. It's terrible. Anyway, Donna was, of course, she was roped up in all that. And she's seen some scary things. She said she saw somebody's hair being cut. It was like the scissors, but there was nobody there. It was like in midair, and someone's hair was being cut or something there. They did something at the front of the church, and she was terrified. And I said, for God's sake, don't go back. It's got terrible things on the internet about this. Because they do what is it, conversion therapy or something on these poor boys. They've done some terrible things. It's a terrible church where the owner gets a pile of money, and they were getting money off people again. They didn't have card reader, but people were putting lots of cash in, I noticed, and for them. And well, I thought I'd never go. They were going to frighten the hell out of me as well. And anyway, I think it's terrible. And I was just going to say about atheists. I'm just going to give you a list now of a few celebrities, 100% true this is, you can Google it, who are atheists. Ones you'll know: Brad Pitt, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, Keira Knightley. I love Keira Knightley. She's so lovely. George Clooney, you know him. Helen Mirren, Angelina Jolie, and my favourite, Susie Izzard, who used to be formerly known as Eddie Izzard. He's wonderful. He's transgender. I love him. Wonderful comedian. Sorry, girl now. Lady. Susie Izzard. And they're all highly intelligent, famous celebrities, and they're all, just a sample, that there's just a handful. There's loads of them, if you Google them, that are atheists like me. Because people have worked it out. Because if there is a God, as my grandmother used to say, God only gives you so much as you can take. I cannot take what I've been given. I can't take that the fact she died left me destitute in the world on my own with not one soul to look after me. I have no blood relatives living on the planet, and I'm extinct, basically. When I die now, I'll be extinct like the dodo bird. And that's it. That's the honest truth. There are no relatives related to me, as far as I know. And that's it. There could be distant ones somewhere far back, but I don't know who they are. And so that's it. But as well as that, so this last church was Nathaniel's. Now, they seemed to be okay, because they were giving out free meals, and Donna was going there in the winter when it was cold. You know, they were doing this. Some of them were okay. You had to wait a bit for it, but you got it. And they did quiche, cottage pies. You know, it was like school dinners. It was. You got a sponge and custard. It was filling. It was good. It was good. Anyway, now they're suddenly charging for it. So because they're charging, they know I have money, they don't want to be helping me, that's what. But before that, Donna had a massive blowout with them and left, and they told her not to come back again. But she said they were devil worshippers and things, and I didn't know what was going on. But all I know is they're atheists, this church, because I spoke to the man who's like in charge of it, and he doesn't believe in a God or anything, which is weird for a church. But also, they believe in rainbow warriors and your ancestors or something. And then they're into this stuff where you write things down and burn it in a box. And they were chanting. And I thought that was weird. I didn't get involved with that. It was just like the close ones that had been there a while. And I noticed that was happening. Weird things like that. I only went there for free food because I was starving. Because they're not very polite, not very helpful to you. The people that go there are terrible. They ignore you, as Donna said. They just sit. They go in groups, in family groups for free food. Sit in table groups on their own, just get the food and go. I totally ignore you. That's what it's like. It's very cold to go there. It upset me going there, but I'm not going anymore because they were so rude. They just don't want to help me. It's so obvious. But there is no help out there. But I'm believing like these people, and they're all lovely. I mean, Brad Pitt's gorgeous, and Angelina Jolie, and look what she's done, helping the children starving, because that's what we're here for. We're a planet. We live in a solar system. It does exist. NASA's got proof. There's other planets out there. I believe in extraterrestrial life. I believe in that. I believe in Roswell. I'm 100% sure. I think what happened was they were doing NASA at the time. That was the first time in the 60s that they were sending things up. Someone from another planet, billions of miles away, saw a little thing, Earth. Ooh, there's something happening there. Let's go and check it out. They send a ship down. It takes ages to get there. And when they get here, they're treated like shit. And it's all covered up with the government. They've done horrific experiments on them because that's what people are like. And unfortunately, lots of people are not good enough. And these extraterrestrials, I know it sounds stupid, but I wish you'd come and get me wherever you are. I believe I belong with you. I don't belong here. I'm too sensitive for this planet. Nellie always said that. I'm too sensitive for here. I had a dream once about them. About golden creatures around a table I was. And it was so realistic. I was in my 20s. And they were gold, naked, not male or female, tall, slim, with long, pointed fingers. The hands are the pointed, long fingers. That was important. And they were gold. And they were super intelligent, very sensitive, very, very well-mannered built people. And it was a dark room, all black, with a black oval table. And they were having a meeting. And they said she can't cope with it. And somebody was crying, one of the golden ones, and I felt I knew them. And they said she's on a mission, she has to go through this. And I thought they were talking about me. I know it's rubbish, it's probably a dream, and I've seen loads of films and things. But I felt such a strong connection. I've never felt connected with anybody like that in my life before. And it sounds weird, I know. But we don't know. But I like to believe in life of other planets because they're going to test now. Something's come out of space. And they found DNA. Oh, and they said it was on some report in a paper that the DNA from the aliens in Roswell is real. It's genuine. Now, I don't know whether we'll hear anything about it again, but I seriously read about that. It was on a paper on the bus, one of those free things. There was an article, and it said it was real. It was genuine DNA. But the governments don't want us to know about this type of stuff. You see, they want to cover it up. Anyway, I know that I just wish a spaceship would come down because I need a lot of help and collect decent people for a better life. I'd go with them straight away because I don't want to be here. I'm lost here. There's no point for me here. The only thing that makes me feel okay is when you go out, the sun shining is nice. Trees make me feel safe. I feel safe around trees. Sounds daft. Pigeons. I love the pigeons.